They called them old-fashioned, relics from a bygone era, armed with chalk and patience. In a world obsessed with technology, Filipino teachers were often dismissed as outdated. But the Filipino spirit is never to be underestimated. Just when the world thought it had them figured out, they did the unthinkable. Filipino teachers didn't just compete on the global stage, they conquered. They won the Global Innovators in Education Award, outshining nations with billion-dollar budgets. Headlines flashed: Filipino educators, once deemed outdated, named world's best. This wasn't about fancy tech. It was about resourcefulness, resilience, and heart. These teachers proved the most advanced tool in any classroom is a teacher's dedication. They turned criticism into strength, validating a philosophy the world had forgotten. While others focused on test scores, our teachers focused on the child, nurturing minds and spirits. They became second parents, counselors and friends, teaching lessons beyond textbooks. Their victory reminded the world education's true purpose is to build better human beings. This is the story of how Filipino teachers redefined what it means to be world-class. Their journey is just beginning. To understand this triumph, we travel to where miracles happen daily. In a remote Mindanao village, teacher Anna's classroom has no electricity, yet she turns banana leaves into writing boards and river stones into math tools. She composes songs about the harvest to teach science, and stories of local heroes to teach history. In Manila, teacher Ben faces 60 students in a noisy classroom. He invents Grammar Quest, a game using cardboard and bottle caps, making learning irresistible. After a typhoon in the Visayas, teacher Carlos gathers traumatized children under a mango tree, using puppets made from old cloth for storytelling therapy. These are not isolated stories. They're the daily reality for thousands of Filipino educators. Teachers cross rivers on makeshift rafts, print modules with their own money, and improvise with whatever they have. Driven by duty and love, they turn scarcity into creativity. They don't just teach the curriculum, they teach life. Their resourcefulness ensures that a lack of resources never means a lack of hope. Every day they prove that education is possible anywhere, with anything. They embody the belief that every child's future is worth fighting for. These stories are the foundation of their global triumph. Filipino teachers are masters of improvisation, teaching with heart against all odds. This is the spirit that captured the world's attention. The path to the award was paved with everyday heroism. The competition sought transformative impact with limited resources, and 3 Filipino teachers stood out. Teacher Elena from Luzon created Agricadabra, turning a school garden into a living laboratory for science, math, and economics. Students learned by planting, calculating yields, and selling produce, boosting both test scores and nutrition. Teacher Rico from Cebu fused spoken word poetry with traditional Tula, empowering students to express their struggles and dreams through performance. Literary devices became tools for self-expression, transforming passive learners into confident speakers. Teacher Maria from a flood-prone fishing village invented bankamatics, using boat-making to teach geometry and measurement. Math became practical and relevant, connecting students to their culture and daily life. These innovations weren't about technology. They were about understanding students' worlds and using them as teaching tools. The judges were astounded by their empathy, creativity, and impact. Low cost, high impact, and deeply human, these ideas could be replicated anywhere. Filipino teachers emerged as front-runners, not for their resources, but for their ingenuity. Their stories redefined what innovation in education truly means. They showed the world that the best solutions are often the simplest and most heartfelt. These 3 teachers became the face of a movement. Their work inspired educators everywhere to look beyond technology. The Filipino way became a new global standard. This was the turning point. Awards night in Geneva was filled with anticipation. Delegations from 50 countries waited, but the Filipino teachers, humble in traditional attire, stood out. When the Philippines was announced as the winner, the room erupted in applause. Tears streamed as they walked to the stage, overwhelmed with joy. The audience rose in a thunderous standing ovation, a tribute to their incredible work. In her speech, teacher Elena said, "We may not have the best technology, but we teach with love." That line resonated, cutting through jargon and reminding everyone of education's true core. Delegates from around the world crowded to learn from them. Their models, Agricadabra, spoken word Tulaparan, Bankamatics, were seen as universal solutions. The Filipino value of pagtuturo ng may puso became the conference's main takeaway. The world saw not just innovation, but the soul of Filipino teaching. It was a victory for heart over hardware. The Filipino victory sparked a global conversation about what defines quality education. For years, the world chased test scores and technology, looking to countries like Finland and Singapore. Filipino teachers offered a different paradigm, no child left behind, and learning rooted in compassion. Their model focused on holistic growth, emotional, social, and moral development alongside intellect. It was about transformation, not just information. Experts began to question if academic excellence had come at the cost of empathy. The Filipino approach showed that success could be measured by character, community, and kindness. Teachers became mentors, counselors, and community leaders, investing deeply in their students' lives. Their malasakit, personal investment, set them apart. This model doesn't show up in rankings, but it creates students who feel seen, valued, and empowered. The world realized that true education is about building compassionate, resilient individuals. The Filipino lesson, teach with heart and you change lives. The award became a global seal of approval. Suddenly, countries worldwide sought Filipino teachers, not just for their skills but for their warmth and creativity. Principals from Texas to the UK praised their ability to connect, create family atmospheres, and inspire students. Filipino teachers were now seen as cultural ambassadors, transforming school cultures abroad. Their communal, nurturing approach was a breath of fresh air in formal, individualistic classrooms. They knew every student's name, story, and dream. They celebrated successes, comforted failures, and built relationships that transcended borders. The Filipino value of pakikipagkapwa-tao, shared humanity, became their global signature. They proved that care and compassion are universal languages. Filipino teachers were now in demand for all the right reasons. While the world celebrated Filipino teachers, back home the story was different. For years they faced criticism and blame for systemic problems beyond their control. The international award forced the nation to reconsider. Our teachers were always world-class. The problem was lack of support. The narrative shifted from blaming teachers to questioning how we support them. The award highlighted the potential unlocked by proper funding, training, and respect. Teachers felt vindicated. Their hard work finally recognized. Teaching with heart was validated as timeless and effective. They stood taller, voices stronger, proud to be innovators. The world's attention brought a renewed sense of pride and purpose. Filipino teachers were no longer just educators, they were global trailblazers. The nation finally saw their true worth. At the heart of these successes is Bayanihan, communal unity. Innovations were never solo efforts. They grew from collaboration and mutual support. In Agricadabra, parents, officials, and local businesses all pitched in, making the garden a community project. Spoken word Tulaparan thrived with help from artists, poets, and local businesses. Poetry slams became community festivals, drawing in families who'd never visited the school. In disaster zones, Bayanihan powered recovery. Parents built stages, elders shared stories. Everyone contributed. This collective spirit turned challenges into opportunities. Bayanihan showed that it truly takes a village to educate a child. Social capital, not money, was the secret ingredient. This is a lesson the world can learn from the Filipino way. Ultimately, this is a story of love, a timeless philosophy of teaching. In an age of automation, Filipino teachers remind us of the power of the human touch. Their legacy is etched in the hearts of students, not in code or data. They know who's hungry, who's struggling, and quietly offer help. They build character, not just knowledge, preparing students for life, not just exams. I teach because they need hope more than lessons, one teacher said. In places of hardship, teachers are beacons of hope and possibility. These award winners represent thousands of unsung heroes across the nation. Their impact ripples through families and communities, building the nation's future. Filipino teachers are, and always will be, our national heroes.